In a prosperous kingdom called Lumbana, nestled between rolling hills and lush green valleys, there ruled a king named Ao. King Ao was known for his wealth and grandeur, but also for his foolish decisions. He wore splendid robes of vibrant colors and adorned himself with dazzling jewels that glittered like stars under the sun. Yet, despite his riches, he lacked wisdom and often made choices that brought trouble upon his people. The kingdom of Lumbana thrived on agriculture and trade, with fertile lands that yielded abundant crops. The villagers worked hard, planting millet and maize, and tending to their livestock. They loved their land and took pride in their crafts, yet they often found themselves in despair due to King Ao's ill-conceived laws and extravagant spending. Every month, King Ao would host grand feasts, inviting nobles from neighboring kingdoms. The banquets were filled with exotic foods, musicians, and entertainers, all while the common folk struggled to afford basic necessities. Rumors spread through the villages that the king's lavish lifestyle would eventually lead to the kingdom's ruin. One day, a wise savant named Kofi, known for his deep knowledge of the world and its mysteries, visited Lumbana. Kofi had traveled far and wide, learning from the elders of various tribes. His hair was streaked with gray, and his eyes sparkled with intelligence. When he arrived in the kingdom, he quickly noticed the discontent among the villagers and the foolishness of King Ao. Determined to help, Kofi made his way to the grand palace. As he approached, he saw the opulent structure, with its golden spires reaching for the sky and vibrant banners flapping in the wind. The palace guards, clad in elaborate uniforms, eyed Kofi with suspicion as he approached. "I seek an audience with King Ao," Kofi announced, his voice steady and calm. The guards laughed, shaking their heads. "Do you think the king has time for a mere savant? He is too busy feasting and entertaining his guests." Kofi remained undeterred. "Tell him that I have wisdom that could save his kingdom." Reluctantly, the guards ushered Kofi into the grand hall, where King Ao was surrounded by his courtiers, indulging in a feast. The aroma of roasted meats and spices filled the air, and laughter echoed off the walls. As Kofi entered, the laughter faded, and all eyes turned to him. King Ao, a goblet of wine in hand, looked intrigued. "What is this? A beggar dares to interrupt my feast?" "I am not a beggar, your majesty," Kofi replied, his voice strong. "I am Kofi, a savant who has traveled from afar. I come to share wisdom that may help your kingdom flourish." The courtiers scoffed, and King Ao raised an eyebrow. "Wisdom? What do you know of ruling a kingdom? Look at me, I have everything I desire." "Yet your people suffer," Kofi pointed out, meeting the king's gaze. "Your riches will not protect you if your subjects are unhappy." King Ao's face flushed with indignation. "How dare you speak to me like that? I am the king. I can do as I please." Kofi remained calm, undeterred by the king's fury. True kingship is not merely about wealth and power. It is about the well-being of your people. "I offer you a challenge, your majesty, allow me to teach you the ways of true leadership." Intrigued, Ao leaned forward. "And if I refuse?" Kofi smiled, unfazed. "Then your kingdom shall continue to suffer. But if you accept my challenge, I promise you will gain the wisdom to lead with strength and compassion." King Ao pondered for a moment, a flicker of curiosity in his eyes. "Very well, Kofi. What is your challenge?" "Let us embark on a journey together," Kofi proposed. "For 3 days, you shall live as a commoner, experiencing the struggles of your people firsthand. After that, we shall return to the palace, and I will share my wisdom with you." Ao hesitated, unsure of the wisdom of such a plan. But the thought of gaining true knowledge stirred something within him. "I accept your challenge," he declared, surprising everyone in the hall. "But I will not do this alone. I want to take my finest clothes and jewels." Kofi shook his head. "To learn, you must let go of your royal facade. You must experience life as it truly is, without the armor of your riches." Reluctantly, King Ao stripped himself of his luxurious robes, replacing them with simple garments. He felt a strange vulnerability, but Kofi reassured him that this was the first step toward wisdom. On the first day, Kofi led Ao into the bustling market of Lumbana. The streets were alive with color and sound, filled with vendors selling vegetables, textiles, and crafts. As they wandered through the market, Ao watched as the villagers exchanged goods, their faces filled with joy and determination. "What do you see?" Kofi asked. "I see hard work," Ao replied, a hint of understanding dawning on him. "But also struggle. They toil for little reward." "Exactly," Kofi affirmed. "These are your subjects, the ones you must protect and support. They deserve a king who cares for their well-being." As they moved through the market, Ao witnessed the daily struggles of the villagers. He saw a mother struggling to carry heavy baskets, a young boy selling homemade crafts, and an elderly man begging for food. Each encounter etched itself into Ao's heart, stirring emotions he had long ignored. On the second day, Kofi took Ao to the fields, where the villagers worked tirelessly under the hot sun. The farmers bent over their crops, planting and harvesting, their skin glistening with sweat. Ao joined them, though he had never worked a day in his life. With Kofi's guidance, he learned to plant seeds, understanding the patience and dedication required for agriculture. As the sun dipped low in the sky, Ao's body ached, but a sense of pride swelled within him. He had worked alongside his people, feeling their strength and resilience. At dusk, they shared a simple meal, a far cry from the extravagant feasts of the palace. As they ate, laughter and stories filled the air, and Ao felt a connection to the villagers he had never experienced before. "Do you feel their spirit?" Kofi asked. "Do you see how they support one another?" "Yes," Ao admitted, his voice filled with newfound understanding. "They are united, stronger together than I ever realized." On the third day, Kofi led Ao to the riverbank, where the villagers gathered to fish and wash their clothes. Here, the king saw laughter and camaraderie as families shared their catches and helped one another with chores. Ao felt a sense of belonging that he had long overlooked, witnessing the bond that tied the villagers together. "You have experienced the heart of your kingdom," Kofi said. "Now, what have you learned?" Ao took a deep breath, the weight of his newfound knowledge heavy yet uplifting. "I have seen my people's struggles, their resilience, and their unity. I understand now that a king's strength lies not in his wealth, but in his ability to care for and support his subjects." Kofi smiled, proud of the transformation. "You are beginning to understand what it means to be a true leader. It is your duty to listen to your people, to uplift them, and to create a kingdom where everyone thrives." With a renewed spirit, King Ao returned to the palace, ready to embrace his role as a compassionate ruler. He summoned his advisors and shared the lessons he had learned. "We must focus on the well-being of our people," he declared. "Let us invest in their needs and ensure that every villager has enough to eat and a home to call their own." The advisors, shocked at Ao's change of heart, nodded in agreement. They worked together to implement new policies that supported farmers, improved education, and created jobs for the unemployed. Slowly but surely, the kingdom of Lumbana transformed, becoming a model of prosperity and unity. As the months passed, the villagers rejoiced in their newfound hope. They celebrated their connection to the land, the river, and each other. King Ao, now known as the Wise King, became a beloved figure, respected for his humility and kindness. One sunny afternoon, as the kingdom flourished, Kofi returned to visit Ao. The king welcomed him with open arms, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you for showing me the way, Kofi. I will forever be in your debt." Kofi smiled warmly. "You have learned to lead with wisdom, Ao. The real gift lies in how you choose to govern and uplift your people." With newfound purpose, King Ao dedicated himself to building a kingdom where every voice was heard and every life mattered. The river Maziwa flowed stronger than ever, its waters singing a melody of hope and unity, a reminder of the journey from foolishness to wisdom. In the end, the kingdom of Lumbana became a beacon of prosperity and harmony, where the wise savant and the once foolish king worked together to nurture their land and its people. Their story echoed throughout the ages, a reminder that true leadership lies in compassion, understanding, and the willingness to learn.